What's up, guys? It's Kicks Brian here, and yeah, so the base of this video is to help y'all understand how to use Android Studio a lot better and understand mobile application development. So I got reports saying lots of students in our class weren't getting what the lecturer was saying in class, so I'm going to further explain what has been done in class. So I'm not going to do anything apart from what he has done in class and what we've been taught in class. What I'm going to be doing is explaining how we did this and explaining more on what the lecturer did in class. So for those who didn't quite get what the lecturer explained, I'm going to be explaining more, so I hope you get it. But if you don't, you could leave comments down below and ask questions. I will answer. And some of you might already have my number, so you can hit me up, and yeah, I will explain everything more for you if what I do here is not quite clear. So yeah, let's go. First of all, you open your Android Studio and let's start a new Android project. So this first video is going to be teaching you how to create a project, just that, and maybe design a layout. So let's get to the video. Open your Android Studio, click start a new Android Studio project here, and could give it a name. I'm gonna give it design, because for this project we're just gonna be designing. Yeah, so for an application name, it must always start with a capital letter. You see it warning me at the bottom here saying the application name for most apps begin with an uppercase. So yeah, I gotta change the D to a capital letter. Yeah, so application name design, and I click next. Now I have to pick the minimum SDK. So most devices will go with ice cream sandwich, but I love using KitKat because it has more features than the ice cream sandwich, although it works for lesser percentage of devices, but it has better features than the ice cream sandwich, and there are some things you just can't do with the ice cream sandwich. So yeah, we're going with API 19 Android 4.4 KitKat. Now we click next and select empty activity. We can leave this as main activity or give it a name. Well, we want to design a login page, so I'm going to call this login activity, and the layout name has automatically changed to activity login. So yeah, we could leave that like that and finish. So right now it's creating the project and building the Gradle for the project. We need to wait for a few minutes. Okay, so I think it's almost done. Once it's done, the red lines here will go here. These red lines are gonna go. So it's showing the indexing, and yeah, now the project has been created. So you can see we have the XML file. Yeah, I just have to refresh this. Okay, saying the hello world. This comes in by default, so we're gonna take that out for sure. Yeah, and we have the Java page. This is where the main code comes in, and you use this to tell the application what you want each widget or each palette to do. So I'm going to be explaining more on this. So first of all, let's get this. What is an activity? An activity is like, it is a page. So if you have an application with a login and register page, we could say the login page is the login activity, just like this one, and the register page is the register activity. So yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory, kinda. And okay, let's get to the design part. First of all, by default you're gonna have this hello world symbol. So what we want to do is click on it and take it out. You could press delete on your laptop, or you could do this, right click and delete. So yeah, and one more thing, you could also take it out from the text. Here it is, saying hello world. So you could take this whole part out and it will also be deleted here. Okay, so first, how do we design? This is what is going to be showing on our phones when we run the application. So how do we design this? We have what we call palettes. In the palettes we have widgets, text fields, layouts, containers, images and media, date and time, transitions, advanced, custom, custom design, custom Google, custom app compact, blah blah blah. But for this we're creating a login activity, so what we really need is the widgets folder and the text fields, because we're gonna use a button and we're gonna need text fields. So yeah, and we might as well need text view for the register page, although we're not going to link the pages in this video. In the next video we'll do that, but we're gonna design the login page and design the register page on this video. So let's get to it now. First of all, when you need when you talk about login, the first thing that comes to your mind is your username or email and password. So we're going to use a username here. So let's go to the text field, scroll down to the text fields and choose plain text. Let's use plain text. Keep in mind, there's always, for each palette you pick, each palette item you pick, you need to give it a unique ID. So the IDE can identify, IDE, Integrated Development Environment, in this case Android Studio. Android Studio can identify that when you are doing your Java coding, this is what you're actually talking about. If I'm saying a button should, if I press a button and the button should make the activity switch to a different activity, I have to tell Android Studio which button I'm talking about. So yeah, and to do that you need to give everything a unique ID. It's just like you having your school ID or your name. So when your name is popped in the database or your ID is popped in the is punched in the database, they know they're talking about you. So yeah, now we have this box. This is the text field. We're gonna call this username. Okay, so we could drag it to the end to make it wide. Yeah, and we could change the text in here by coming here. So yeah, I'm gonna change the text right about now. Right about now. Yeah. Sorry, my laptop is kind of slow right now, and it might happen to you. Android Studio messes your laptop up so bad. Okay, so yeah, so we're gonna take this out. So we want it blank, but also we want our users to know what they have to fill into that field. So we're gonna tell them with hint that we want them to fill in their user name. So we have username and we have a text field called username, but then again, like I said, we have to give it an ID, so when we start coding we don't forget. And one thing, if you are kind of forgetful, you could also always get a piece of paper and write down the IDs to each palette item you add to your application. Add the palette application, the palette item, and give it put the ID, write down the ID for the particular palette item so you don't forget. However, Now, so I'm gonna give the ID for username for this username text field now. So I come here, the ID, I take this out. I don't want edit text. I want it to be something I remember easily. So I'm gonna give it user box. I just like using this name. So user box, and that is now the ID for this. Another way you can change the ID is by coming to the text area here, the text section rather, not the text area, sorry, forgive me. So you come to the text section and you can find this here, Android column ID equals at plus ID forward slash, then you give it the ID. So yeah, it's user box. You can always change it if you want, but you should use something you can remember and use something you have that will be easy for you to remember. Okay, so now we'll go to design, and we got a username field now, but we need one more thing, or actually two things more. We have the password field, and there's always a password widget there, a password palette item here. So we could take this one instead of taking plain text, so it doesn't show your user's password out. So we could take this and drag it on, and let's drop it here right on that username. Yeah, and stretch it as usual. Now I want to see the blueprint, and I feel like seeing the blueprint helps me understand what I'm doing better. I don't know, sometimes you can see the ID here. This one is showing username, this one is showing user box. That's the reason I like the blueprint. So yeah, now we've dropped the password text field. We're gonna have to either give it a hint or a text, but we want to make things easy for our users, so we're gonna make it hint password. So, and there it is, password. Once again, we're gonna give it an ID. Let's call this p word login, and let's change this one for the username to user box login, because when we create the register page, and this is going to come up, updates usages as well, this will update all XML references and Java R field references. Don't ask again during this session. Yes, okay. So we're going to call this user box login. Why? Because we're going to have a user field, username text field in the register page, and the name has to be different as well to make it easier for you when you're coding. So yeah, we're gonna use this user box login, and when we get to the registration, we could use user box reg. Alright, so we have the password p word login, and we have username user box login. Now we're gonna need a button to link you to another page. So let's get this, drag a button from the palettes and stretch. So we have a button, and now we could change the text, change this to login, and yeah, now we change the ID to login btn. Great. So now we have our login page, but hey, we're not gonna be able to go to register if we're new. Although this video is not going to show you how to link, that will be done in the next video, but so we're going to use this design for the next one. So yeah, we need to get everything ready before the next video. So we need something to link you to the register page, but what is that going to be? So we could either use a text view or a button. Well, since we already have a button, let's be a little bit diverse and take a text view. So I'm going to drag the text view and drop it right here and stretch it out a bit, but now it's pretty small. So but first let's give it a name. Let's give it a text, register here. Okay, and we have the text view, so we say reg button reg, b reg. Okay, so we're gonna call this b reg or tv reg. Yeah, tv reg will be better, tv reg. Alright, So now we need to make this bigger. How do we do that? We'll come here, view all properties, and we scroll down, look for text size, not text style, not text scale, text size, and we have 14 sp here. We could always increase this to say 20 dp. Let's see, now it changed back, so we have to do that again. 20 dp. So we have a register here, and this is still looking quite small though, but we could deal with this. Yeah, we could work with this. This is okay. Register here. You can always increase the size if you want, but for me this is okay. It doesn't really matter. You can increase it whatever font you want. I'm using 20 dp, I think. So yeah, now the login page is ready. So how do we create another activity? What you do, like our lecturer showed us in class, says you come here and create a new class, and then you come here and create an XML file, but there's an easier way, so we're gonna go with that way. You right click on the Java folder, you click on the Java folder. If it's closed, open it, and you click on the first folder there. Yeah, the one with the login activity, or the main activity, whatever you named your first activity. The one with that particular one is the one you click on. So yeah, once that is done, you right click, new, go to new, move it all the way to activity, and click on empty activity, just like we did at the start, but this is a different way. So yeah, empty activity, and bang, we have this. So we're gonna create a register page, which means we're gonna call this register activity. Register activity. Great. So finish. Now we have the Java class for the register activity, as you see, and we have the XML file. So you don't really need to create the XML file separately and then the Java file separately. That's just a waste of time. You can always create a new activity and it will create both for you. Now excuse me. Now you have to click plain text. You have to choose for you come to your palettes again, and you choose your palette item. So what do we need when it comes to register? Yeah, of course we need your name, we need your username, and we need password. Sometimes they ask for phone numbers, email, whatever. So yeah, we've already had username, password, so we could add email this time to the register though. So let's do this. Plain text, drag the plain text there. We're gonna use this for your name. So yeah, it already says name in the text, but we want, because if we run this now, our users are gonna have to wipe up the text before they can type. So we're gonna take this out and transfer it to hint and put full name or name. We could leave it as name if you want, whatever name. Okay, now we're gonna give it a name, an ID. So we want this to be your name, not your username, so we're gonna give the ID something that can differentiate. Let's say F name for full name. Okay, so yeah, we got that. And next up, we could give it a username. Let's use plain text again for username. There we have username. Yeah, we'll take out the text like I said and go to hint, put username. Now remember what I said while creating the login activity here, where we used user box login and pword login. Now we could actually use user box, or we could now use user box reg, just so we know the difference. So user box reg. Now this is the ID for the username field, and now let's get a password field, or email first. Let's use email first. So we have email field. Email, I took the email palette item, so yeah, stretch it out, and hint, we'll give it email. There, email. Now let's give it an ID, so we'll say email box. And now for the final, or second to last widget, we could say password. So the password we have here, and for the password ID we give pword reg. Okay, now we need two more things. We're gonna need a button that registers you, and if you're already registered peradventure, maybe you got to the register page by mistake, we need a button to take you back to the login page, or a text view as we did in the login page. So yeah, we're gonna do this. Drag a button down there and stretch it out. Let's make it look nice. Change the text here to register. You could use capital letter or small letter, whatever you want. Yeah, register, and change the ID to reg btn. Okay, now we need the text view which says back to login page, and now we're gonna change this text back to login page. Okay, ID login TV. So we don't like this size, we're gonna have to increase it, and yeah, let's use 20 dp again. It's gonna change, so you do that one more time, and there, this is, here we have this, so you can always adjust it. And let's drag this to the middle. Perfect. There. So we have a nice and beautiful login and register page. So I'm gonna run this on my phone right now, and just so you'll see. Okay. So I'm gonna run this on my phone though. Well, I'm gonna run it on my phone. So yeah, right now it's searching. Yeah, Samsung, SM, blah blah blah, and it's building the Gradle right here. So while we wait for it, I'm gonna run it on my phone and show you how it looks. Okay, the Gradle is building, and we gotta wait for it to run. See, now it's installing the APK. So it ran on my phone, but I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna do a video on my phone right now. Just hope. Alright, so here, this is the login page, and we have the username. See, once I type the username, stuff goes off. But if we had left that text, it should have been like this. Yeah, like this, and the user will have to wipe it up manually before it could go. Same thing with the password. Now if you click login or register here, you see nothing happens. Why? Because we have done no coding. So this is just the login page, and the only way for us to see the register page without connecting it is by changing the list in which the application activities run. So I'm going to do that right now and rerun the app so you guys can see what it is. So yeah, but for you to change which page runs first, you have to go to your Android manifests. But be careful, the Android manifests, if you mess it up, you could practically mess up your whole application. So here we're going to change this to the login activity. So we could just dot login activity, delete this one, and change this to the register activities, because we want the register activity to run first so we can see it. Yeah, so now this has changed and we rerun now. Okay, now it's building grade once again and installing APK. It's faster this time, I think. So once the APK launches, okay, it has launched on my phone. I'm gonna record that on my phone right now for y'all to see how it goes. Yeah, okay, so we have the register page, the register activity, but for some reason the password field is really low, so we could really edit that later. Well, for now, yeah, so this is how the application is going to show when you run it. I hope you liked the video. Please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. In the next tutorial, I'm going to show you guys how to link the pages by clicking the buttons. So the login button is going to take you to another page. The register here button is going to take you to the register page. The back to login page is going to take you to the login page, and the register button is going to show you a message saying you have successfully registered. So if you have any question, and I'm guessing most of you have my number or have me on Facebook, if you have any question, you can comment down below, or you can text me on Facebook or WhatsApp. I'll reply and explain properly to you whatever you don't understand. No question is stupid. Just ask me whatever you don't know. Alright, so until the next video, see you guys.